Picture this. You're standing in Spain, looking across the blue waters. Just 14 kilometers away, Africa. You can literally see another continent with your eyes. And your brain immediately asks, why don't we just build a bridge? We've built skyscrapers taller than mountains, tunnels under oceans, and even put a man on the moon. Surely connecting two continents can't be that hard, right? Well, let's tell the story of the bridge that never was, and find out why nature, history, and politics all said, nope. Let's start with the Strait of Gibraltar, the watery gap between Spain and Morocco. On paper, it sounds easy, only 14 kilometers wide at its narrowest. That's less than your morning commute. But here's the catch. It's deep, nearly 900 meters in some places. That's 3 Eiffel Towers stacked underwater. And depth isn't the only villain here. The currents are fierce, the winds are relentless, and to top it off, it's one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. Imagine trying to build a bridge across a racetrack during the Indy 500. Yeah, good luck with that. Of course, humans have been obsessed with this crossing for thousands of years. The Phoenicians sailed it, the Romans controlled it, and later the Moors used it as their gateway into Europe. But here's the thing. Nobody ever tried to connect it with a bridge. Why? Because ships work just fine. In fact, controlling this strait was like controlling the world's most important Wi-Fi password. Whoever held Gibraltar decided who could connect the Mediterranean to the Atlantic. Empires fought wars over it. And when you're busy fighting wars, you don't exactly have the budget, or the time, to build the world's longest bridge. But let's play engineer. Imagine we try to build it. First option, a suspension bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge? Tiny compared to this. The Akashi Kaikyo Bridge in Japan, the longest in the world, is about 4 kilometers. To cross Gibraltar, you'd need something more than 3 times that long, across an ocean storm zone. Second option, supports in the water. Problem? You'd have to drill supports nearly a kilometer down. That's like building skyscrapers underwater and then asking them to hold up a bridge while waves, winds, and ships constantly slam into them. Engineers have looked at it and basically said, we could, but we'd rather not lose our jobs. So, what about underground? After all, the English Channel Tunnel worked, and that was 50 kilometers long. Spain and Morocco actually proposed a tunnel in the 20th century. It would be about 40 kilometers, doable, right? Except the seabed under Gibraltar is basically a geological horror show, unstable rock, earthquakes, and steep drops. Building here would cost tens of billions, maybe even more, and decades of digging. That's not a construction project, that's an entire career. And even if engineers somehow figured it out, who pays for it? Spain? Morocco? The European Union? Maybe Elon Musk with pocket change? Every serious proposal has hit the same wall: money and politics. The price tag is astronomical, and neither side wants to foot the whole bill. Plus, geopolitics gets messy. Who controls the bridge? Who collects the tolls? Who handles security? It's like building the world's most expensive joint bank account, and then asking 2 neighbors who don't always get along to share the PIN. But let's dream for a second. Imagine if it did exist. You could literally drive from Paris to Casablanca without ever stepping on a plane. Trade between Europe and Africa would skyrocket. Tourism would explode. Weekend road trips from Madrid to Marrakesh would be a thing. Of course, there'd also be chaos. A 14-kilometer traffic jam in the middle of the ocean, customs checkpoints backing up across 2 continents, and the occasional lost tourist who accidentally ends up in Africa when they were aiming for Alicante. So, why isn't there a bridge between Africa and Europe? Because nature threw in every obstacle it could: deep waters, fierce winds, constant traffic. History turned the strait into a battleground instead of a building site. Engineering says it's possible, but barely. Politics says it's too complicated. And money, well, money just laughs in our faces. One day, maybe a tunnel or bridge will happen. But until then, boats and planes remain the champions. And next time you look across the Strait of Gibraltar, just remember, sometimes the shortest distances have the tallest walls. Thanks for watching. And hey, if you liked this, consider subscribing. Because unlike the bridge between Europe and Africa, this channel actually will be built.